What's happening, people? Dan Lawless here, back with another transfer roundup. Got some a lot to talk about today. Massive, just a shocking story come out today from Sky Sports about Hernandez. I just wasn't expecting this one at all. This has come completely out of the blue. Before we get into that, don't forget this video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball's app lets you keep up to date with all the stats, scores, and transfer news and rumours and everything what's going on. Check the link in the description down below. But one of the big rumours that we're going to be talking about is sorry, I can't get my words out. Talking about is Hernandez apparently has agreed personal terms with Valencia in La Liga. Now, this is according to Sky Sports Italy or Sky Italy, and this has just come out completely out of the blue. Everyone's focused on what's happening with Arnautovic. Arnautovic wants to go to China, and you know what's going on. We're going to talk a lot more about that coming up. But we've all been focused on this, and all of a sudden, this story comes out that Hernandez has agreed personal terms with Valencia. Like, I just can't believe it. Now, how much can we obviously believe this story? I mean, there's probably something in it. You know, he may have been talking to Valencia or something. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna sell unless the price is right. Like this, I don't think like it's just like, okay, he's off to Spain. Like, you know, the price needs to be right. We need some replacements lined up. I think if we can get some money, if we can get like 10 million, I think we paid about 15 million for Hernandez. If we can get like 10 million, you know, get him the highest earner off the books. That would be a great bit of business, you know. I think he's on like 150 grand a week or something. I know he's supposed to be our highest paid player, and yeah, if we can get him out and get him replaced, that'd be huge. He scored about 13 goals in 49 games at his time at West Ham. Not great, but when you consider, I mean, I'm a big Hernandez fan. I was really happy when we signed him. Problem is, and he is a great striker, and he's, you know, lethal in the box. Several problems has been injuries, inconsistency, mystery injuries, illnesses. You know, he come down with the flu randomly before a game. You know, the ongoing back issues. Sounds a lot like Mesut Ozil at Arsenal, really. But yeah, and then, you know, his time under David Moyes. You know, when he started playing him as a target man. You know, he had a tough time under Bilic. But you know, now we've got Pellegrini. It's like he's just been injured a lot. So as good as he is in the box, and if you play in the right system, you know, he'll bang in goals for fun, we're not getting the best out of him. So if we can move him on, that'll free up a lot of money on the wage bill and get a little bit of money in, and we can look to replace him with someone who could be a lot better for us. Who that person is, I don't know. But yeah, I think Hernandez, if we can get a decent price for him and we can replace him, let's do it. Let's get it done. He's got a year left on his deal, or well, it runs out summer 2020. So about 18 months on his deal. So, you know, let's get some money for him now. And it's hard. The thing is, though, it is hard to replace players in January. January transfer window is really hard to sign players. You get the January transfer window tax where all the fees go up. But if they think they can do it, let's do it. Let's talk about the Arnautovic thing. Apparently, the Chinese club, rumored to be Shanghai, I think, have come back in with an improved, or are coming back in with an improved bid of £45 million, improved from their £35 million bid. You know, it's a lot better. I think we should hold out for at least 50 million. I think 50 million should be our cut-off. We say, no, right, 50 million, and then he's yours. Which would give us the chance to, you know, have a good bit of money to go and try and replace him with. But considering we've got to give this, there's this 20%, actually I want to talk about this, 20% fee, sell-on fee that we have to give to Stoke, right? Now, fans can't decide. There's a lot of people saying, is it 20% of the whole sale or 20% of the profit, right? So if you're looking at, say we got him around 25 million, and we sell him for 45, then it's 10% of 20% of 20 million. So that's 4 million, right? We have to pay Stoke. However, if it's of the whole sale, then we're going to have to pay him £9 million off that £45 million sale. So I'm really hoping it's based off the profit. That makes more sense to me. But a lot of people are saying it's on the wholesale. If you know, if you're clued in, if you're clued up, let me know in the comments below, because I want to know about that one. But yeah, I think if we should hold out for 50 mil at least, for sure, and then get that done. We're in that position. We're in the strong bargaining position. We don't need to let it be another pipe where we let our best player go on the cheap. So if we get that in, there's obviously the prospect about who we replace him with. There's more news have stepped up about Callum Wilson, that, you know, our interest has increased in Callum Wilson. However, the transfer one, I think it was the Guardian, came out and said that if they're going to sell Callum Wilson, the fee would be £75 million. £75 million for Callum Wilson. The game has truly gone, if there's any truth to that. It really has. 75 million. That's mental. That is mental. I mean, that could be just like Bournemouth saying, look, we have no intention of selling this player. This is the only price we're willing to entertain it at. In other words, like, you know, piss off, basically. That could be what that is. But I think 50 mil, if we can, you know, literally just give the money that we are getting for Arnautovic, that'd be decent. And, you know, you compare their goals. Arnautovic has this season 8 goals in 18 games, right? Callum Wilson has 10 goals in 18 games. So, you know, he could turn out to be, you know, an improvement. They're not exactly the same player. It's not like a like-for-like replacement, but he's pacey. So, you know, maybe he can feed off them through balls from Anderson. Now you've got Nasri as well to help create. If we've got better creative players than Bournemouth have, so with the players that we have around him, you'd imagine that he could possibly be even more prolific. You know, Lanzini when he comes back. So, yeah, I think we should definitely try it. Let's just put in a £50 million bid straight away, or like a 40 million test the water, and then follow up with the 50 mil, like whatever our max as high as we're willing to go is, and go from there. So yeah, I'd do that one. Obiang. Let's talk about Obiang to Florentina has come out. People have been talking about it. This is another one, like, I think if we can replace him, would be a good one to get off the books. I like Obiang. I just feel he's a bit inconsistent, and I think we can replace him with better. We've been needing a central midfielder, you know, a box-to-box midfielder, someone who's strong physically, you know, and I think, because I mean that's been one of our weaker areas, the midfield. So I think if we can replace Obiang with a decent midfielder, that's good business. I said only if, like, we can replace him. He wants to go. Apparently, his team, his entourage, or whatever, his agents and that are trying to press us to accept the offer. The offer is rumored to be 10 million euros, right? So you're looking at, what's that, like 8 million quid or something like that, which is poor. Like, I'd hold out for 10 million pounds, right? If we can get 10 million pound for him, do the deal. Obviously, we need to, before we start selling, we need to be getting these replacements lined up. I have no doubt that Pellegrini and Husilos are off identifying replacements as we speak. So I'm confident in that. If they can line someone up, then they can do it. There's talk about Napoli's Diawara. I think that's how you say it, Diawara. 21 years old, box-to-box midfielder. I haven't really seen him play. I've just seen what people have said about him. That, you know, he's energetic. You know, he's a box-to-box midfielder. He hasn't had too much game time, but Ancelotti apparently really wants to keep hold of him, even though he hasn't had much game time. The kid does want to get more game time. He's 21 years old. You know, that might be the ideal replacement, but it's not looking likely. But either way, I'm hoping that they've identified a few decent ones. Like I said, it is our weakest area. If we can strengthen that, you know, with Jack Wilshere being injured, and yeah, I think we just need that strong midfield who's basically can play alongside Declan Rice, you know, and just shore things up and protects the back four a bit more. So, but let me know what you guys think. Anyway, that's the latest transfer stories and news, rumours. Hernandez, yes or no? Should we let him go? Who do you want to see replace him? Who do you want to say replace Arnautovic and Obiang? Like, do we keep Obiang? Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are to these stories. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, the thumbs up, or whatever you call it, because apparently that does help us out. I don't know how. And one thing left to say, come on, you irons.